guys, it's Dave from Cousins Paintball, and today we're going to talk about bore sizing paintballs, what the numbers on these barrels mean, and why it's important. From case to case, from manufacturer to manufacturer, paintballs vary in size. In a perfect world, they all be exactly the same, but we know how that works out. They've been ranging anywhere from 6.95 all the way down to 6.75 I've seen lately. Paint is getting smaller, so what that does is it makes it hard to get really good efficiency, makes it hard to get really good paint consistency or velocity consistency. So we're going to explain what these things mean and how to make it better for you. So we're going to go through what the numbers on these tubes actually mean. I just happen to have this freak insert. There's a few different ways you can do it, whether it be like this guy's actually a Freak XL barrel. Functionally, it's the same as a standard Freak barrel for this conversation. But there, you could do it with an insert. Eclipse does it with a barrel back, which is like not the insert, but a separate piece altogether. But they're all sized. What that means is if you have too small a ball, it's going to roll out of your barrel, or in the case of like a open bolt gun, it's just going to get you not great efficiency. And if you have too small a back and your paintball's larger than the inside of your insert, you're actually going to break paint because it won't fit down the tube, because paintballs are relatively brittle. Okay, when we were setting up for this, just checking to see what the bore size on this paint is, we actually got a perfect example and a great view of exactly why bore sizing is important. If you look around the edge of the ball, you can see that huge gap on both sides, almost every side except for the seam edges. That's going to be all air flying around the edge of your ball, so that's going to screw up your efficiency. It shouldn't take much for this ball to fall through. So obviously we've got way too big a bore size. Now it's going to mess with me. Yeah. So this insert actually happens to be 691, which I know is way bigger than you almost ever need right now. But if you see, most of the time, the paint's just going to roll right down this thing and onto the floor usually. So obviously we've got way too big a bore size, and that's not ideal for what we're trying to do. So what you're going to want to do in the case of a Freak kit, if you have the full insert kit, just move down a couple sizes if you see it's way too big. We're going to go to a 687. Once again, labeled right there, 687. Pretty straightforward. Drop it down there. Still too big. Try it with a couple balls, because like I said, paint varies. Also, sometimes you'll drop it on the seam itself. And it tends to be a little bit wider than the other sides. So we're getting closer, but it's still not there. Let's move down to a 684. What you want is the ball to stick in. You could usually, what I end up doing is like blow gunning it out of the barrel, and see if that works. We're real close. Let's test it. It's a little small. Grab a swab, sir. I'm gonna have my assistant grab a swab, and we're gonna go to a different insert. That's a 684. So let's go. 687 is actually the next size up on that. There's a couple different ways you can do this too, and it's pretty much the same. Like this die back, you know, it's a full back. This happens to be 8.8 because it's not labeled. That's the standard size on barrels if they're not labeled usually. All right. My assistant Trevor has retrieved a swab, so 684 might be the one, man. Test drive it again. Yeah, that's perfect. 684 happens to be this Vulcan Graffiti bore size this week. Like I said, you got to check it every time you play, because it varies from batch to batch, humidity, etc. So in this case, 684 is the money one. Some people like the bore size down a little bit to get a little better efficiency. I'm not a big fan of that because I try to shoot brittle paint and I don't want to break into my gun. Awesome. So now that you know how to bore size paint, you need to know why it's important. One, you're going to get really good air efficiency. Two, you're going to get a little better accuracy. And three, you're just going to shoot way more people when you play paintball. And that's our goal for any of these videos. So cool. If you need any help with any of this information, give us a ring. Cousins Paintball in Deer Park. Go to shopcousins.com. Or there you go. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.